tell you a little story. A story about how I discovered that all my random interests are actually connected to each other. I started off my childhood, like many of you here today, having had the opportunity to do so many things, both within the school curriculum and in my own time through the extracurricular activities I do and the tutoring I get. Of course, I wasn't very good at everything. I did well in Thai and terribly at any kind of sports I touched. But still, having 2 extracurriculars lining up for me after a long day of school was not uncommon. And sometimes I would feel tired and wonder why I had to be doing so many things. But at the end of the day, it didn't really matter to me because I liked them all. Fast forward a few years to year 9. I can remember the day when I sat there at my table and my form tutor came passing us these forms. It was a subject options form. Once the form was filled, we will have chosen only 5 subjects beyond the core. They'll play a major role in dictating our future pathway. But I liked all the subjects, and the thought of having to discontinue my studies in some of them was heartbreaking. But then I realized that the 6 period per day slots we have at school are only part of what it means to be me. So I decided to join all these after-school activities in order to fill in the voids and help develop broad perspectives. I scrolled down the long list of school activities and finalized my choice as choir, since I enjoy music, and the World Scholars Cup, an academic competition consisting of 2 quiz-type challenges, a debate, and a persuasive essay. But what I discovered from joining in these activities was that learning isn't about filling in the voids, but rather about finding the connections between each discipline. Let me give you a few examples. The World Scholars Cup is an academic competition which encourages us to study subjects beyond the syllabus. These are topics like revolutions, a symbolic piece of art, superheroes, or concepts such as hyperreality. Through the debate and essay side of things, I was able to utilize skills I learned through the math class at school in the logic forming my arguments, but also more directly, English in delivering my speeches. Moreover, the underlying evidence for my arguments were often ideas I was first exposed to in classes like science, history, and economics. Later on, I moved on to a more formal version of debate, Model United Nations. Model United Nations, or MUN for short, is like the World Scholars in terms of the breadth of subjects, but puts a more political twist to it. The main objective of MUN is to represent a country in a forum debating solutions to global issues. What I found out was that the solutions that were voted the best ones were the ones that took into account various perspectives ranging from international relations, politics, science, the environment, history, all these, and the list goes on, they were all present in there. Both World Scholars Cup and MUN made me realize not just how interconnected things are, but the importance of them being connected. Now, have you ever played a stringed instrument where you just touch and not press on the string and it gives you a lighter sound? I tried that first on my sister's guitar and then a few years later on my cello and still found it super cool. The technical term for that is harmonics. Later on in physics class, I discovered the underlying reason as to why harmonics has to be certain distances from the fixed point on the string, or the fixed points my physics teacher would call notes. Music and physics, subjects that used to seem so distant to me, were actually entangled with each other on the fundamental level. Until my childhood question of why we had to do and learn so many things, sometimes we learn some things to explain another. Here's another example. Sitting here on stage is my back brace. I have scoliosis, which means that my spine is curved, and my curve happens to be in an S shape. The doctor recommended me to wear this plastic cage in order to help my spine stop curving further, but also, which would also help me avoid a big surgery. This is created using design and technology skills in the making, with the material science behind the scene, as well as biology forming the basis of healthcare. Treatments like this wouldn't have occurred if no one ever cared to put chemistry and physics together with the art of sculpting plastic into the shape of someone's body. It seems intuitive, right? And I agree it is. I believe that by human nature, we are all predisposed to be connecting each discipline together. When I was young, my teacher would give me a spelling assignment by making us draw out the words in bubble writing. Interdisciplinary engagement, right? But as we grow older and the content gets more advanced, it's nearly impossible to be learning things that way with the time we have. So what I think we do is we specialize. Something like this pyramid here. But what I think it would be better to aim for is a scenario where we have broad background knowledge on different disciplines, something like this square. This would enable us not only to specialize, but also to have ideas and some kind of basic knowledge in other disciplines waiting to be connected with a specialist in those areas. I think this will help us innovate and find better solutions. Now this next part probably sounds a bit cliche, but I think it's a good image to have in your mind. To me, each subject, skill, or discipline is like a star. Some may be bigger, and some newer, some brighter. But at the end of the day, the beauty is when you can join all these distant and seemingly unrelated stars into a beautiful constellation. Here's a biology constellation. Biology is definitely created by different disciplines. For example, the two sciences, chemistry, used to explain the different bodily reactions, while physics explaining the different pressures in the chambers of the heart. English is used in report writing, while math is obviously used in the calculations. And art to make sure that the diagrams we draw in biology aren't crooked like the one I have here. When I noticed the connections forming in biology, I felt that I had to focus in all my other subjects in order to do well in biology as well. But I believe that this extends not only to other subjects, but also into the extracurricular realm. One of my hobbies is songwriting. I write songs in Thai and sometimes my own tunes as well. So my Thai star is definitely part of this constellation. And as per my previous example, music and physics. But it doesn't just stop here. Take this t-shirt, for example. I designed this t-shirt for an event where my songwriting friends and I and my family went to the old people's home to make music. As a spin-off from my hobby of songwriting, I was able to practice my design skills, so now design could be a part of this constellation as well. Being able to spot all these constellations gave me lots of opportunities. It motivated me to read more about the world and find out more about others. This gave me background knowledge and the confidence to talk to many more people I never had the courage to talk to when I didn't know the background knowledge and the subjects of their interest. I transformed from a shy and quiet child to someone with a larger network of friends than I ever dreamed of. And I enjoyed learning all the subjects even more, because no subject was ever useless or impractical anymore, because I know that at the end of the day, all these subjects can be pulled together in an interdisciplinary way. In my educational journey, I have learned to adjust my telescope into a perspective that enables me to see so many beautiful constellations. It is now up to you to adjust yours and tell us of the constellations you see. Thank you.